call for a ceasefire.
No, I will not.
Gaza.
On the contrary.
Senator Rubio.
Are you filming it?
Wait,
So I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas should stop building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Why should a child who is an American citizen have to pack up and move to a country that they don't know?
Because their parent obviously entered the country illegally, had a child knowing he was in the country illegally, so he created that crisis.
I have 9 tribal reservations. I have no jurisdiction there. We have families living on our tribal reservations that are living with the cartels, that are in their communities, taking advantage of them, perpetuating crimes and murders, and they can't do anything about it. And we've been asking this federal government to come in and keep people safe. They refuse to. So it's not just in Texas, it's in South Dakota too, and that's what these cartels are doing.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
What's good, what's good, what's good, what's good, my people? It's your boy in the building, MC Too Tall. What up? It's your boy in the building, MC Too Tall, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero. And the cabinet's shaping up, folks. The cabinet's shaping up. All right, we got the first ever woman head of Joint Chiefs of Staff. We have an experienced ICE agent that's going to be head of ICE and border czar in Tom Holman, and it looks like Florida Senator Marco Rubio is going to be Secretary of State. There's some other cabinet positions in there as well. The Department of Homeland Security, the Secretary for Department of Homeland Security, they say is going to be South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. And I understand there's a lot of people from the right that don't like her. I do, and you know, you can't stay mad forever at Kristi Noem over cricket. You just can't. It's like, yes, she shot herself in the foot for her chances to become Trump's running mate with the release of that book, including that in the book, and then highlighting that part of the book. But he picked her for head of Homeland Security, which is an important role. Now, do I think she's qualified? I will say this. She would be ideal for Secretary of Agriculture. She'd be perfect for Secretary of Agriculture because prior to getting into politics, she was a farmer, an experienced farmer, taking over her father's farm when he had an unfortunate fatal accident while farming. But she is pretty knowledgeable of what a grave problem we have at our southern border. So I think she would work very well with Mr. Rubio and Mr. Holman. And if Trump finds himself having to do a Ronald Reagan cabinet shuffling, so be it. You know? But it's okay. It's okay. It's shaping out pretty good. We got Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. They'll be working together for government efficiency. The Director of Health and Human Services, they did not solidify Robert Kennedy Jr.'s name, but he may be getting Admiral Levine's job. It looks very, very close to happening. And judging by the people that with whom he's staffing his cabinet, it's pretty obvious. This time around, Trump means business. I mean, and he would argue he always has, but now this is an older, wiser Donald Trump who doesn't want to take any chances of having any slithering swamp creatures slithering into cabinet positions that are either self-ambitious, looking towards the cause of whatever the neocon uniparty agenda is. You know, basically somebody who is both competent and loyal to not necessarily what is MAGA, although it does tie in with MAGA, but most importantly, a mandate given to this Trump administration by the American people with their vote. The majority of the country clearly, by millions of votes, voted for Donald Trump instead of Kamala Harris. And so, with that vote, as I said, there is a mandate. You know, now, Trump had said in his 2020 campaign, promises made, promises kept. And pretty much he's saying that in 3 words, in a much stronger way with these 3 words, and those words are fulfill the mandate. Fulfill the mandate, and he's very serious about his contract with the American people that the American people have signed their portion of with their vote. Obviously, my vote being one of them, a very significant vote. So, those of you who don't like Donald Trump, you're looking at one of millions of reasons why right here on your screen. Remember the name, MC Too Tall. Just remember that. MC Too Tall voted for Donald Trump not 1 time, not 2 times, but 3 times, baby. And this will be a successful presidency, as was the last time around when Donald Trump was president. You're going to say, oh, the economy really fell apart. Yeah, that's because of a deliberate sabotage move from communist China. And I could get into that, But we're not going to argue about that. I'm just very optimistic, very, very, very optimistic about this cabinet. And it's shaping up pretty good. I'm hearing rumors of a former Fox News correspondent that is going to be Secretary of Defense. But he wasn't just a Fox News correspondent. He's a decorated veteran, and he's been in military for decades. And, you know, he got this little post-military gig at Fox, and now he's got a calling, a higher calling, to be Secretary of Defense. And senators are going to, like, pick that apart. Elizabeth Warren is already going nuts about it. Just give me 1 second here. The man's name is Pete Hegseth, and that's who Trump is going to pick for Secretary of Defense. And Elizabeth Warren, of all people, somebody who's got no business questioning credentials. She's got the goal to question Hegseth's credentials. This man, as I said, is a decorated war veteran. Iraq and Afghanistan. Iran, we want to try to avoid. The way things were going, we would have been in a dead set one-on-one war with Iran. We would have been fighting, going into a crash course on a war with Iran had things gone the way they had gone, with Kamala Harris becoming president. But America, again, in a big, loud voice with that vote, made this mandate with government, and at the helm of government now is a man who should be there, a man who should not have been cheated out of his office, but we corrected that with our vote, Donald Trump. So I'm very excited about this, and a lot of people are saying Hegseth is mean because he's recommending that women not go out into combat. And let's go by what people are physically capable of doing. Okay? Let's go by that. You're not going to have people with the strength of Lou Ferrigno going out there who are women. I could assure you there is not a woman alive today who could beat Lou Ferrigno in arm wrestling. And unless you could do that, or at least tie with him in arm wrestling, then you shouldn't be going out into combat. But that's my opinion on the matter. Kristi Noem, as I said, I would have put her in agriculture, but she does have concerns about our southern border. I think she will be efficient as Department of Homeland Security Secretary. Our head of ICE and Borders, him I really, really like. I really like him. Tom Holman, especially what he said at the beginning of the video. And the 60 Minutes woman is getting all in shock over this, as if he's being mean. These people don't want to take accountability. If you enter the country illegally, knock some bleeding heart liberal broad up and make a child with that bleeding heart liberal broad, you and that kid gotta go. And you know what? You could take the bleeding heart liberal with you. We don't need people, foreign or domestic, blatantly ruining the country. Okay? So, here's the thing. Person entering country illegally must go. That person entering country illegally can go by himself or with whatever family he started here. But he will go. That's simple. And you could choose either the illegally entered person leaves and you stay here, or they leave and you go with them. What's the problem? What's not an option is the illegally entered person still remaining here for the remainder of his days. He could come back legally. If he didn't, murder anyone, if he didn't rape anyone, if he didn't pull off a freaking major bank heist. But the idea is entering the country illegally is still entering the country illegally. It is illegal. This is pretty simple language here. And so I'm all for Tom Holman being head of ICE and border czar. I think right away he'll be a much more efficient border czar than the person that they are denying was border czar, which is Kamala Harris, our outgoing vice president, who failed at the border and failed in this election. Oh, veering off. This is a little bit of a different subject, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. She's $20,000 in debt. No, or is it $20 million? About $20,000, right? But still, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, bro. I'm not $20,000 in debt. She is, though. And how did she do this? She tried buying friends. She tried buying new friends. She paid Beyonce $10 million to say that she loves her. She paid Lizzo a few mil, about $3 million, to say she loves her. Megan Thee Stallion about $5 million. She even threw $1.5 million at Slim Shady to say he loves her. And you don't see celebrities that support Trump doing that. They support on their own organically. And look at the greats that are supporting Trump. I mean, I could say Tekashi 6ix9ine. We'll throw him in there first. Screw it. Lil Pump. Come on, these are superstars, man. Superstars. Lil Wayne. Right? Vanilla. You love Vanilla Ice. He's among them. Vanilla Ice, ICP, freaking Ice Cube. Kodak Black. Right? Come on. Kanye, of course. Freaking, who else? Yours truly, MC Too Tall. All these major artists. Those are just rappers, but you think of other major artists that support him. Superstars. Like all four members of KISS. I only acknowledge 4. Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons. All 4 of them supported Donald Trump in this election cycle. Ted Nugent. Somebody, Rolling Stone magazine, likes to trash. They don't want to acknowledge his talents as a guitar player. They refuse to acknowledge Ted Nugent's talents as a guitar player because of his political stance. Mind you, these are the same people who blatantly lied about somebody that I could tell you was a good friend of mine, the late great Alan Merrill, claiming that Joan Jett's management team screwed him over for the rights to record and release the song I Love Rock and Roll. Because the original version of I Love Rock and Roll was done by a group called the Arrows, whose lead singer and songwriter, Alan Merrill, good friend of mine, had written. And Alan Merrill passed away early in 2020, said to be of the COVID-19. But I had spoken to Alan over those years from 2009, stayed in touch with him, did shows with him, and he had told me that Rolling Stone magazine is a rag, and told me about how they lied about how Joan Jett's management team screwed him over. He got well taken care of for the song I Love Rock and Roll. And you could tell he got well taken care of because when he would show up to do concerts, he never asked for money. He would just show up in a nice expensive suit at these random no cover charge places, would pull out a 12-string acoustic guitar that was more expensive than some people's entire recording sets, and just jam out and play acoustic versions of his hit songs. He had written songs that became hits for people like Lou Rawls. Some of his other songs that he did with the Arrows became hits. He had a few well-known songs with his other band, Vodka Collins. And yeah, he did very well, and it was evident. But, you know, Rolling Stone's a rag. They wanna just blatantly lie about people like that and try to pit Joan Jett and Alan Merrill against each other, which, you know, that conflict never happened because both Joan and Alan saw through the bullshit. This is what I'm talking to you about. Media is full of shit. Rolling Stone magazine, but a bigger example, of course, is that roster of liars they have at MSNBC. From Joe Bodies in the Basement, Scarborough, with his frying pan-faced co-host there. Al Sharpton, of all people. Come on now. Al Sharpton. You got Race Bait and Joy Reid. You got all kinds of characters on there. And let's not forget the lying king of all of them, lying Larry O'Donnell. I mean, these are people that need to get right with God. When they go to meet their maker, they need to make right with him. And it's neither here nor there. Donald Trump's building a kick-ass cabinet. And you know what? Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share my content. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy Too Tall.